Exactly. Because it's a sport at the end of the day. It's a game. Business
Yeah,
is a game.
yeah, it is. Life is in general a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrific. My question basically is, I just signed on and client 2 weeks ago, or I think it was, yeah, 2 weeks ago, for 11.5% of their profits of their online shop, because we're currently sorry, revenue of the online shop, because currently
Well,
we're signing lots of clients for revenue deals on their shop and taking over the whole marketing, also combined with Google Ads or influencer marketing, whatever. And
I like it.
for this particular client, it looked good though, but then we started the campaigns, and my team and me are still working on it, but it looks terribly. You might taking a look over?
Yeah, of course. So you just doing Facebook ads?
Yeah, yeah. For this particular client, we only have Facebook ads here. We
Okay.
started initially. You see those campaigns here. I think we started with 4 or 5 campaigns, and we had to turn it off because it was so unprofitably. Then my media buyer went ahead. We obviously optimized and purchased. Went ahead, and we have already spent 500 euros, I think, but have only, I think, overall in like 2 purchases or something. It is the first situation happened to me, because my media buyer always crushes it, but it's like the first time I don't know where it is
Yeah.
that
You don't know what the issue is?
yeah, yeah.
So just scroll across to your CPM quickly. Okay. And what's the AOV of the product?
It's about like we first advertised on the product overall page, like not on a specific product, because it's from healthcare, beauty products, feed care products, and the AOVs is about $10-15. So we tried now to optimize more on bundles, that it makes more sense to go on it. So we just run this straight on the product categories. I feel like it was 15 euros AOV.
That's tremendously low. What's the cost per click currently?
The cost per click, I gotta check.
Okay, cool. So that's the issue. I kind of knew that anyway, just by looking at your CTR. Your CTR is what, 0.5%, I think. Your cost per click, link click is €3.30, and your AOV is €15. Right. Like
Yeah.
that's the issue. So two biggest things here is the ads, like as tangible things that we can actually change and whatnot. It's going to be the ads. So I know you've not gone through the program that much yet,
Yeah.
obviously because you've only just joined. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you've probably not listened to any calls or call replays or anything like that.
No.
But AOV is one of the biggest things that we look at now with
Okay.
clients, because the number one way to increase your ROAS is by virtue is not by, if you, for example, had a 2 ROAS, the number one way to go from 2 ROAS to 4 ROAS is to double what you're making from the current customers who are buying, not to double the amount of customers who buy. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So the number one way to essentially increase ROAS is to increase AOV, right? Make more per customer, not generate more customers, right?
Yeah.
So when we have a client who's got a €15 AOV, that poses an issue. And I'll be very honest with you up front. I'm not saying to drop the client by any means. We can work
Yeah.
on this. But if that client came to us, we wouldn't have brought them on board,
Yeah.
because that's how important it is, right? That's how important
Okay.
AOV is. Because now our cost per purchase, we have to spend so little to get a purchase now, because the AOV is so small, right? We have to spend €7.50 to get a 2 ROAS. €7.50 per purchase is tremendously low, and that's only going to get us a 2 ROAS. So to this point though, of like the current metrics and whatnot, as I say, biggest issue here is the ads, right? I always reverse engineer the process. As soon as you said we're not getting good ROAS, again, there's something in the funnel that's broke, right? The ROAS is never the issue, because the ROAS is held up by virtue of all the other metrics, So these other metrics is somewhere in the other metrics that's causing the ROAS to be so low. And we can already see it. This one's a super easy one. The cost per click is way too high. And now if you scroll to the other side of the screen again, we can see the issue, right? So the cost per click is high, but you got to remember again, the cost per click is again held up by virtue of the CPM and the CTR.
Yeah.
That gives us our cost per click. And so if you go across to the CPM and the CTR, so CPM is €14.50, which is not too high to be, well, it's on the higher side, but it's nothing like, oh my God, like this ad account's broke, you know? So that's a little high, but it's, you know, you can work with it. So then that's not the issue, right? Because again, cost per click's the issue, but that's held up by virtue of CPM, CTR. So the CPM is not the issue. Now let's have a look at the CTR. Well, the CTR is 0.58. That's tremendously low, right? So, the CTR link click, that's the issue. Do you know what this client's website conversion rate is as well, by the way?
I wrote it down, but I can't say it now from the back of my head, and I would have to look through.
Okay. Is it like a 3? Is it a 0.5? Is it just roughly? Do you know?
It is not a perfect one, and I know that their shop is also slow.
Okay, so that's going to be even worse because now it's not even like, you know, you're paying €3.30 to get someone to the site. Now only maybe 0.9% of them are converting. You know, so that's the sole reason why your ROAS is low. So long story short, it's definitely the ads on the front end, right? It seems like there's some issues here on the back end, but we're not even getting enough traffic to the website to even be able to identify what the true issues are on the back end. So that now takes me to the ads. I could have said that straight off the bat, but I hope that explanation kind of gave some, you know, good insight into how I got to that point, you know, and like the thought process. Because as I say, we do this for every single client, right? Like when we have a client that's not performing well, or we bring on a new client whose ads have just tanked, or we're looking at a prospective client where the ads are just doing terrible. There's a reason. There's you know, the numbers can't be bad without there being metrics in the funnel that are making the end ROAS, the end numbers bad. There's a break somewhere. And if you can identify where the break is, well, usually each metric has levers that you can pull, which will then change the numbers, you know? So then you can think, okay, cool. Well, we need to work on creative. We need to do copy. We need to do AOV. We need to do this. We need to do that. However, ads, how long have you been working with this client?
We signed literally on the 1st August, and then we had some tracking.
Okay, so 2 weeks.
So the ads went on last Tuesday. Yeah, last Tuesday we launched them.
Okay, so is this your first iteration of ads? Have you gone through a few different?
No, like this is literally the first situation where like we were having in starter issues, kind of like.
Okay, cool. So can you just go to the ad set level? Are you inside the top of funnel campaign now, or what campaign are you in at the moment?
I'm in both. They used to. Real quick.
Okay, so both top of funnel though. That's cool. So go to go to the ad set level, and then go to, have any of these got a purchase?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go to the top one. Open up the top ad set. Okay, cool. So I've not even opened up the ads yet, and I can already see something that can be instantly changed. It's the creatives. So without even going into the ads, you can just see from a preview that all of those creatives are very, very, very similar. Yeah. Like very similar, right? Yeah, they may say different things on the actual creative, but just from looking at them, they look very much the same. And so what will happen is when your creatives are as similar as that, they're going to produce similar results. True. Right? Yeah. They're going to produce similar results. There's not really going to be one of those creatives that's going to drastically outperform the other, like drastically. Yeah. You know? So what we always do, and you'll see this as you go further into the program as well, which is really, really good. Like for example, week 7, you know, we go through all of these ideas. But one thing that we always do when we first launch with the client is we'll have drastically different angles, because drastically different angles will produce drastically different results. And then you can see very, very clearly, okay, which angles are working best? What type of creators are working best? Is it lifestyle stuff? Is it product stuff? Is it information stuff and educational stuff? Or is it some other angle, right? Some other style? Yeah. When you launch all of the same style of ad, all of the same, like a similar angle, well, that's going to produce pretty much one result.
True.
So that's the only result you're going to see. You're not going to be able to see any other style of result, you know? And I take it, these ads are in every ad set. So it's going to be a similar result. Whether this is a product that can work or not, the results are going to be based upon the result that gets generated by virtue of this style of creative. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So now if we open up the actual ad itself though.
That one that had a purchase.
Yeah, you can open up that one. Just any of them, just to get a feel of what they look like, copy-wise, etc. Okay, so it's in.
Yeah.
Was it German?
Yeah,
German.
it is.
Okay.
Oh. UniX. Damn, I don't know what this is happening, but
That's cool. If you just scroll down.
Wait, I can I think zoom in. Can you see that when I zoom in, or is it just from my screen? Because I currently just.
I can see the creative. Okay. If you scroll down though on the in that section there in the middle section, there's the copy and whatnot. What does the first 3 lines of that say?
Wait, here. Say no to dry and another synonym for dry feed because it's an feed care product. Food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go to the other 2 and read the first line of the other 2 ads as well?
Yes, those are 3 different ad copies though.
Yeah.
And that one, same. Yeah, same.
That's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the third ad?
The third ad, it says that basically those viruses, which are the cause for these feed shroom. Can I say feed shroom? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like the straight German
okay
for that, but it says those viruses are not only get you to be mad, they are also very harmful for you.
Okay, so that's a slightly different approach, which is good. But the other 2 ad copies are identical.
Yeah.
So again, it's just going to produce one result.
Yeah.
Which is what you're seeing, right? Yeah. So I would come in from drastically different angles, and we was having, and I also want you to rewatch the call, the last Centaurian call that got uploaded. After this call, watch through that, because I believe it was Andreas. He was asking on angles with clients. I believe it was the last call. And he was asking about like, how do you come up with angles for like different ad copy approaches and whatnot? Go through that and listen to that, and then apply that to this ad account. Because again, as you come in from different angles, you're going to see different results, and that's what you want to be seeing. Seeing drastically different results will help you see, okay, cool, this is working, this resonates better, because maybe people resonate with this approach or this benefit or this thing more so than this, and that's going to then, as the ad resonates, it's going to build more intrigue. It's going to make people more curious. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to click. That's going to drive down your cost per click, and it's also going to increase your CTR. Obviously, your CTR is literally the direct correlation between how much your ad resonates with the audience in which you're showing it to. And so if you can make headlines and ad copy and creatives that resonate on a deeper level, it will drive up your CTR, which will drive down the cost per click. And that would then combat the issue right now, at least that's in the ad account, which is a high cost per click.
Amazing. I think that was, bro, I just learned so freaking much right now. That was.
I'm glad, dude, because I could have said that. I could kind of see straight away, right? Like where the issue was. But I wanted to walk through as I say, how we look at ad accounts and how we take an ad account that's getting a 1 ROAS and then go through all the approaches to see exactly what the issue is. It's really just about reverse engineering the process. That's literally, all it comes down to.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I feel like it really gets me also better in the way I understand Facebook ads, because that's still something I gotta improve on, to understand myself, Facebook ads, and that I can really go there and solve this problem I'm facing.
Yeah.
In terms of the AOV, I mean, we obviously got them 15 euros, around that. Would you say that it makes more sense now to choose different bundles or to create different bundles and advertise on them to get the price up?
That's the easiest way to increase your AOV with using what you've currently got.
Yeah.
So what the client currently has is just a bunch of products, and there may be €7, €20, €13, €17 individually. Yeah. You can bundle those up and make one bundle that's €40 or whatever makes sense. But you can also speak to the client and see what additional things they can offer. Yeah. What additional things they can do. For example, this is not going to apply as much to this specific client, but just to think about like how you can go about it. For example, if you had a client who had a, I don't know, or you could do it either way. If you had a client who had like some sort of fitness accessory, you could get that client to do a full like end-to-end workout on how to get bigger legs, and then bundle that into the fitness accessory, and then go from a $15 AOV to $45 AOV, including a full workout plan. You know what I mean? Like add an additional thing in, which is something that you can consult with the client on as well. Like, hey, what do you think else? What other things do you think that could help your ideal customer? What other things are they struggling with? Could we do some sort of small info product around it? Could you maybe add an extra product to this thing? Could you maybe, you know, and then that can obviously warrant you to charge higher. Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfectly sense. So I mean, obviously, maybe this is something I figure out in the course, but just for me, now as an information, what is the AOI where you say I don't take a client on below that AOI?
Usually it's below $50. We've found below $50, it's yeah, it's just a little bit more difficult because then you've got less to play with in terms of what you can spend to acquire a customer profitably. So yeah, usually it's $50 is kind of our benchmark. It's the same thing with profit margins. Like 50% is usually our minimum, because again, anything over 50% is a 2 ROAS break even. Which then it just becomes less and less and less in terms of what you can pay to acquire a customer. And obviously the one who can pay the most to acquire a customer is usually the one who wins. Yeah. As the saying goes. So.
Okay. 100%. So my other client, where I told my interview where I'm getting a loan from this client, 5 figures, we're currently we're selling in his whole store 2 products, and those 2 products are crushing it. It's a micronutrient test and a food intolerance test for $30 each. So we tried it once to make a bundle for both, but it didn't work out well. They have still other products in the store. Would you still scale those 2 or try the bundle again, or use other products of the store to increases in terms of the price, or would just stick to it as we're going now?
Well, those 2 tests, like, do they have a different ideal customer?
Kind of. The micronutrient test just says you which nutrients you're lacking. That means based on that, you can say, hey, I now start to taking zinc or some other supplements. You know that I'm lacking them, so I'm taking them. The food intolerance test is more the people who have headache, belly edge, something like that, you know, and it's based on the food they're eating. And through that food intolerance test, they know that it's coming, let's say, from milk or cereals or whatever. So yes, kind of, but it's still kind of a very similar product.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. So you've tried it and it just didn't do well, the bundle of them 2 together.
But I was thinking about trying it again, since we've tried it, I think 2 months ago, and we have many changes in terms of creatives, in terms of ad copies, in terms of we also switched our shops. So I was thinking about trying them again, and also maybe trying other products of the store. I mean, they still got plenty other products, but those 2 are crushing it the most.
Yeah, so I would try. I mean, look, if you think that this time around you're going to do something different, or you have a different ammunition that you can leverage to try and get better results, 100%. You like, there's nothing against just testing it again. I wouldn't test it again if you're going to do the same thing, because again, you can't expect different results, obviously. Definitely test that. But I would also test, like, I don't know if there's any products that make sense, but you could test a product with the like the actual test that you're selling, right? Whatever, whichever one. If there's products that go with that, that could be a good bundle offer if they marry in together. If they go together, like a test and this product, you know what I mean? If you can put those together, that could bump your AOV, and it could have some pretty good resonance if they marry in well.
Okay, so in terms of with this product, do you mean just another product of their shop?
Yeah, well, I take it all the product, all of their products are all based around health, optimizing it, stuff like that, right? So if one of the tests, as I say, go well with another product, you could use that in a bundle. And if that marries in well, that could do well.
Okay, terrific. Yeah, I think with that specific client, we have already one thing, and this will going to be so big, and that is making personalized supplements, because people are taking the micronutrients to find out which supplements they need, and then we combine it with personal supplements.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
That's the killer here. Damn, that's terrific. I gotta start.
Yeah, that's literally it, because then your AOV will go up. Well, dude, that's it, man, because you get them in on the front end offer, which is already killing it, right? As you know, from the numbers that you're seeing. So you're profitable on the front end. And then from that test, they'll get these results. And then if they get a supplement that's based around the results, well, they're going to buy it because it's perfect for them and they know it based on their results. But also, if it's a supplement, there's a recurring element to it. So not only are you profitable on the front end, but the LTV for the customers is like insane. Okay. So that's it. That's the strategy right there. I love that.
That's terrific. I love that. It's amazing. It's amazing. I gotta implement those action steps. But listen, I appreciate it so much. The value I get straight out from here is completely worth all I paid.
That's awesome, dude.
Amazing, man. Not for real. I really appreciate it. I will look through the last Q&A call. Really appreciate it, Kai. Again.
Perfect, dude. It's a pleasure to have you on board.